Hi, welcome to my channel, Aline's Visit. I'm Aline, a French national guide, and I'm presenting you art pieces, places, and museums in Paris and in France. Did you know that the Louvre had a special place in the heart of Napoleon the First, the French Emperor? Did you know that he changed the name of this museum while he was in power? And he commissioned several painting and sculpture to legitimate his dynasty in the eyes of the French people. You certainly have heard about the role of Napoleon in bringing to the Louvre art pieces from all over Europe, and thus began the systematic plundering of countries at war with the French nation. And the war indemnities of the vanquished, rather than be paid in money or gold, were paid in the form of works of art. Once in power, Napoleon changed again the name of the museum for a more concise one, Musée Napoléon. A bit narcissist, if you ask me, but its collections have grown handsomely in few years. The ambition to make the Louvre an universal museum was coming directly from Bonaparte's ambition to make Paris a new Rome. Part of the Louvre was maintained as an imperial residence, and several of its spaces, like the Square Salon, the Apollo Gallery, and the Grand Gallery, were used for ceremonies. It was in the middle of his museum, a symbol of his power, that the emperor decided to marry Marie-Louise of Austria, his second wife, in 1810. He ordered Mr. Dominique Vivant-Denon, the director of the Louvre, to empty the Square Salon to transform it into a chapel. Of course, the director resisted. Then Napoleon threatened to burn the painting if they were not taken down within the hours. Tell me about an art lover. Among a lot of paintings that you can admire, I would like to point out two paintings and a sculpture very representative of Napoleon. The first is made in 1804 after a commission of the emperor, and this painting is Napoleon and the Plague in Jaffa by Antoine Jean Gros. This is a propaganda piece showing the emperor in the plague sanatorium in Jaffa touching some sick soldiers in defiance of the contagion. Doing this is part of the line of the French kings who could heal the plague only by touching the man, being intercessor between God and man. The evocation of this divine power in a scene that takes place in the Holy Land corresponds perfectly to Napoleon's desire to establish his legitimacy. So the new dynasty of the Bonaparte needed some strong resemblance with the previous dynasty, thus the power to heal the plague. The second painting will be the coronation by Jacques Louis David. Very ambitious composition representing the coronation taking place on the 2nd of December 1804 in Notre Dame Cathedral. This painting took 3 years of meticulous work. The painter David was the emperor's first official painter, and he was commissioned by Napoleon himself to commemorate the coronation ceremony. In fact, if we look attentively, this is the coronation of Josephine, showing the power of Napoleon, who took the crown from the hands of the Pope, sitting just behind him, shocked to be stripped of his role in the ceremony. The artist wanted so much to please Napoleon that he took some liberties with the reality of the ceremony. For instance, Laetitia Bonaparte, mother of Napoleon, was not there. She wanted to show her disapproval of the woman her dear son chose as a wife. So David had to add her later on to the painting. You will also notice that Josephine looks very young, 20 years old at the most. But in fact, she's 40 years old and older than Napoleon. David knew how to please his commissioners. He also added a figure that could not possibly be present at the ceremony. Just behind Napoleon in the back, you will notice a grey figure looking strangely like Julius Caesar. David wanted to highlight the supposedly affiliation between the Roman winner of so many battles and the French emperor. At the delivery of the painting, Napoleon, of course, was very pleased, and he said, "It's more than a painting. We can walk in it." You know that Napoleon, after his abdication, was sent in exile to St. Helena Island, where he died the 5th of May, 1821, at 51 years old. His mortuary remains were sent back to France only in 1840. Of course, numerous artists were commissioned to create sculpture or painting for the admirers of the emperor. And in 1846, one of his captains commissioned the artist François Rude to create a sculpture fighting the idea that Napoleon was no more. And Mr. Rude created Napoleon's Awakening to Immortality. Now, I hope you know more about Napoleon and the Louvre, right? If you like this episode, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. I can guide you live in Paris and elsewhere when you are in France. So reach me through my contacts in the description below. Welcome to France. See you next time.